What's up, guys? It's your boy Live for Peace back at you again with another banger. Alright, so for today's video, we're basically gonna be talking about what have I learned in the past 2.5 years trading. Alright, so this is a topic that I think I really want to share with you guys because personally, from my journey right now, it has been one of the hardest things I've ever encountered, and I feel like sharing these things, being open with you guys and talking about, stuff that I think you guys should know or stuff that you should expect or stuff you should improve whenever you're taking this journey on or if you're already taking it, right? All right, guys, so I'm not going to waste your time anymore. Please like, share, and hit that subscribe button. All right, thank you. All right, so the first one I want to get into is basically I want you guys to do this for me, right? If you're going to take this journey on, all right, don't just say, all right, I'm going to get up and become a trader. No, it's something that you got to own, something that you got to tell yourself, like, listen, this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to stop whatsoever, right? I think if you had that little personal one-on-one talk with yourself and make sure you come to a conclusion that trading Forex, becoming a trader for the rest of your life, or just until you make enough money to, invest in stuff or whatever. Once you decide to become a trader, it has to be a personal decision and you have to be certain, right? Because it's a waste of time, because this is not a get rich kind of, career field. So it's going to take some time. So do you want to waste the next 4 years? Do you want to waste the next 3, 7, 8, 9 before you decide, like, this is not me? Everyone can make it from this, but you got to make that agreement with yourself that you're never going to break and you're just going to keep at it. No matter what life throws at you, you're going to keep at it because eventually it will pay off, right? It's just basically us going to school all over again and learning new stuff. In order for us to get to 12th grade, we got to go from, kindergarten and go all the way up to middle school to high school or whatever, right? So I think that's a good thing that you guys need to do before you start, all right? All right, so for the second topic, I want to make sure you guys get this clear, right? Listen, everything that you do in life is going to have some sort of expense to it, right? And if you, honestly, like, if you want to have now I wouldn't say a smooth sailing ride or a easier like an easier journey, you gotta get a job, right? If you want to have an easier journey, like, it's still gonna be difficult, but if you want it to be, not so bad and your psychology part is actually not so terrible on you, make sure you get a job, right? Because I took it on without a job the first time and I realized how painful it can get, because we don't know where the money's coming from. So I had to step up and make sure if I wanted this to happen, I had to make sure I get up and do it every single day, right? So I think having a job to do the expenses, because we're going to lose money until we get there, because it's a learning process, right? So along the way of getting there, we're going to be losing a lot. Even when we're there, we're going to still be losing, right? So I think that's something that you guys should, make sure you do. No matter how hard you see other people not working, other people living the life, doing whatever you would love to do not quit your job. Or if you're gonna quit your job, make sure you're getting something, or you have something that's gonna be giving you money to pay your basic needs, like a roof over your head or food on your table, stuff like that you don't have to really worry about, right? So I think that's a really good one to make sure you think about, because I personally have my share of trying to figure this thing out. All right, the third thing that I want to say is if you cannot go on YouTube and figure this thing out, or go on Google and fill it out, because it's like a big puzzle, and definitely if we don't have the right structure to it, we're going to be all over the place learning how to trade, all right? So if you don't want to go through what I went through, watching a bunch of different videos, wasting time like that, just invest, save some of that money from the job that you have, And this is how the expenses thing that I talked about come into action right now, right? What we're gonna do? We're gonna make sure we invest some money into getting this information a little bit easier, right? Because there's a hard way to figure out stuff and there's an easier way to figure out stuff. If you have all the information in front of you, it's gonna be a little bit easier than if you gotta search and waste time to figure it all over the place. Until it's a waste of time, right? So just invest in yourself. Personally, I'm telling you, even when you're getting there, you still gotta keep investing in yourself, going to seminars, doing stuff like that. I'm even thinking about going to one that I found out about in Vegas, right? So definitely, if you want to keep on improving yourself, make sure you support yourself a lot along your journey, right? Yeah. So just like a journey without investments is just a waste of time, right? So as much as you can, you have to show yourself that, oh, I want this. So you got to make sure you invest in yourself, right? It's going to be much easier getting to your goal, right? We don't have to make it hard, all right? All right, guys, so the fourth topic that I want to go over, right? I'm going to try to see if I can get through these quickly, right? Because I think it's like 6 or 7 of them, right? So the fourth one that we want to go over is basically understanding that the psychological problems that we're facing, it's literally, happening to make us better, right? Because when we go through these psychological problems, we learn ourselves, or we learn about ourselves, right? And we learn how to solve these problems, right? So by solving these problems, we're becoming what? A better person, right? We're going through obstacles that is basically stopping us from moving to the next level in our journey, right? So these psychological issues are to build us, right? If you think about it in a positive way, simply changing your perspective on the situation can definitely help you a lot, right? So just make sure when you go through them, you don't get depressed, you don't get mad at yourself, you don't get worried, you don't stress out, you don't go crazy, right? Just know that they're here, they came with your journey, right? All these problems that we're going through, it came with the journey that we decided to go on, right? So yes, so go through them, solve them, they're only making you better, right? I had to learn that the hard way, right? So just trust yourself, right? The fifth topic that we want to talk about is basically understanding that the journey that we're going to take to become a trader is going to require us to become a better person, right? And that involves our health, that involves our mindset, that involves our routines throughout the days and stuff like that, right? I personally had to change my routines. I used to just lay back, feeling loopy after I finished trading. I don't have nothing to do. Now I'm trying to make sure I figure out what I can do every single hour of the day, right? Even if it's an hour that I take a nap or whatever, it's still me being productive because it's a structure of my life, right? So create some structure, build healthy habits, become a better person, right? It's just consistency. Practicing these habits is gonna basically change our entire person, personality, right? Right. So whoever we were 5 years ago, if we start practicing better habits, we're gonna become a whole different human being, right? Because you need it to become a really successful trader, right? So it's just you preparing yourself to becoming a better guy, to getting the stuff that you want, getting you ready and prepped to get there, right? The sixth one that we want to go over is basically understanding that our Forex journey, our trading journey, whether it's stocks or whatever, it basically has like a roadmap, right? So what my wife and I basically talked about, is basically understanding that whatever journey we decide to go on, it has like a roadmap, right? It has a roadmap, right? And everybody has their roadmap a particular way when they take on this specific journey, right? Nobody has the same journey, right? So what you should do is understand that, all right, if I want to get to X, right, and I'm starting from A, I got to go through B, C, D, E, F, G, right? Of course, we're going to go through problems. Of course, we're going to hit roadblocks. Of course, we're going to have good days. Of course, we're going to have bad days, right? But if we decide to take the right path on our journey, we'll get there quicker. We'll get there, right? Because I'm telling you, if you have the exact information to study and you actually put in the work, you'll pass a test, right? If they tell you this is gonna come on the test, just study this and do this, you're gonna pass, right? So I think trading is the same thing. If you understand the steps that you should take, right? Because yeah, it's easier said than done when I said understand, but you can understand the stuff really well and just, know that, okay, I should do this, then do that, then do that, right? Get through these points of my life until I get to where I really want to get to, right? So it's a roadmap, right? So what I'm trying here is just to change your perspective of how you look at the situation so you can actually have a different mindset towards your journey. Because what I'm going to tell you this, it's going to be difficult, right? So that's all right? So the seventh topic that I really want to go over with you guys is basically understanding that your first couple withdrawals should be used to invest in something, right? Something that's going to help you not to just expecting money from the markets every single week, profits every single week, right? You should understand that if you're going to help yourself with these psychological problems, you got to create some sort of safety for yourself that's still giving you some sort of money, no matter what, right? Because regardless if we win or lose, the market's going to be open again Monday to Friday to be traded again, right? But guess what? On the first of every month, we have to pay our rent or whatever, right? So definitely invest in something that makes the journey much more easier. So the easier we make this journey for us by creating these little things, the easier we're gonna get to our end goal, right? And the last but final thing that I want to talk about, guys, is basically staying committed to the entire journey. Just please, if you're gonna take this journey on, personally for me, I had to really tell myself, let's keep going. I've thrown my laptop in the trash can. I've done a bunch of different things that I think definitely was a giving up kind of vibe, right? But I made sure after going through those emotional problems, I get back up and I try to make sure all right, so I messed up here. Where did I mess up? And try to figure out that one thing so it happens to me less now in the future, right? So I think, all these 8 things that I just went over, right? I'm going to list them right here. You guys can see all those things that I mentioned right there is basically stuff that you guys need. Trust me, you guys need to make sure you think about whenever you're taking on this journey, because the past 2.5 years has been the hardest thing ever, right? And a quick one too, I think you guys should make sure as soon as you make some money, make some withdrawals, right? Because the more withdrawals you make, it's gonna start becoming a thing, right? If you want it to happen, make it happen. You know what I mean? Put yourself in a routine of withdrawing so you're gonna always do it, right? Don't always try to make the most from the market and not withdraw, right? So I think that's the last one that I'll put out there, right? But definitely, right? It's been the hardest journey for me, right? I don't really work. I have other stuff that I'm doing just the same to try to put some extra money in my pocket, right? Because it's not every single week I'm profitable or every month, right? So I'm still going through my own journey just the same of consistency, right? So I think, this video helped you guys. Please like, share, and hit that subscribe button, all right? Thank you.